Story time, y'all. I going over to my sneaky link house, right? So packed the bag. I had me like a nice little bag. I packed it and everything like that. I don't want to say what kind of bag it is because I might need to use it again. So I packed the bag, packed all my little necessities and stuff like that, all of that other good stuff. And after I packed the bag, I texted him to let him know, like, hey, I'm on my way, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. So he like, okay. That's all he said. Okay. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, are you still gonna call the Lyft or the Uber? So he's like, because a lot of fancy schmancy people, they be doing Uber. But I'm like, let me include Lyft on in there because you never freaking know. So, because a lot of these dudes, they be broke nowadays and everything like that. So, maybe his pockets ain't pocketing. So, Lyft is a little bit more cheaper. So, he's like, no, I'm going to call you an Uber. So, I'm like, cool, but get me the deluxe package, please. So, he's like, I see like the little dots and everything like that. So I'm waiting for the text to figure out like, okay, is the deluxe package gonna be here or not? The deluxe package when you got the ride and it be like the four-seater and it's real nice and everything and clean. That's the uppities, and that's when that your sneaky link got money on. So he said, yeah, I'm gonna send you the deluxe package. So I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm like, all right, is that little bit of lingo getting on out? Because, I don't want, everybody talking like me and everything like that. So he sent on over to the deluxe package or whatever, but I faked my address. I was like, well, send it over here when I really lived over there. Because even though it's sneaky link and everything, you could just never be too careful because sometimes some people, they just real malicious, right? And I just met him and everything like that, so I really just don't know. You can never be too cautious, you can never be too careful, and every freaking thing like that. So he sends me over, the Uber Deluxe package and everything like that, and I get up in the ride. So the ride about an hour and some change away. Now I forgot to ask him, like, where he lived at and get all of the little details and everything like that. I'm thinking that he in the freaking area. Cause how we texting, it was through Instagram. Instagram and everything. Because I'm learning to delete everything now because you never freaking know. So he lived like an hour and some change away. So he gonna text me. He's like, "Yo, the ride is gonna be a little bit of a ride, and everything like that." So I'm like, "Well, where you live at?" He's like, "Oh, I live XYZ, this and the third." So I'm like, um, why you ain't say something in the beginning? Well, you never asked, whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, because it wasn't too late or anything like that. So it wasn't like it was like 12, 1 in the morning and I'm out late and this, that, and the third. It was like at a decent time, 9:30, whatever, whatever, whatever. So we just zooming along, bloop, 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 and everything like that. So we get halfway there. Somebody say, that he know because I had the window down. So somebody that he know, zoom around the car, somehow found me, y'all. Zoom around the car, and they like, oh, is you such and such, this, that, and the third? And I'm like, maybe. So then they like, well, he's still looking for you to come over there, and this, that, and the third, and it's only gonna be you and him over there, and it ain't gonna be no freaky stuff. He already let everybody know that you coming over, and cause he don't want nothing to go wrong and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all right, cool, thanks, whatever. So, I roll up the window, conversation over. So, after that, the car, zoop, 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 and I get over this. I'm like, hey, huggy hug, blah, blah, blah. So, I'm like, well, where I'ma sit at? So he like, oh, we can go to my room, this and that. You got television? He was like, yeah, I got television, and this and the third. So I'm like, all right, cool, blah, blah, blah. So go up in there, and I'm like, well, I like to watch cartoons and stuff like that. So he like, oh, that's cool, and everything like that. So, he like, oh, you drink? So he had him some Don Julio. And I'm like, no, I don't drink. So he's like, so what you gonna do? What we gonna do? This and the third. He was like, I got some more money. We can go out. I was like, well, let me see your money. So he showed me his money, hundo bundos, blue cheeses, off the wheel and everything like that. Hamster wheeling, with the blue cheese. So, I was like, okay, so let us go on over to this nice little restaurant, Monte, and everything like that. So he like, okay, cool, we can go into the restaurant and everything. So he was like, because I'm not trying to freak you and nothing like that. And I was like, well, thank you, because that's very, very nice of you to say. So, we get on over to the little restaurant and everything like that. It was real. He had him a real nice car too. It was like one of those, it was like Scat Pack, I think. Them Scat Pack cars and everything like that. So we get on over to the restaurant and everything like that. So they did not be entranced and everything because I didn't have on the appropriate clothing. You're supposed to be the kind of like dressed down. Want you with the button down or like a dress on and everything. So he's like, oh, you don't got none of that stuff with you and nothing. I'm like, no, because I wasn't really planning on going nowhere for real. And you know what I'm saying? It's sneaky link time and everything like that. And I'm just trying to see what you doing for real. So he like, that's true and everything, but I'm trying to change things up and because I don't want to make it seem like that I'm after your goods and everything like that. Cause I mean I see you no more and not like that and everything because sometimes being females and everything we just don't be working out. Well, I was like, well, is you on the promiscuous side? He was like, no, I'm not, but it just don't be working out for me. And I be like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know about what your lifestyle is and everything like that. He's like, well, I got money. I got my own place to stay. I just brought you over there because I didn't know you. And it was in a hood job. But he was like, but I got me a condo and all of this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. He showed me pictures and everything. He was like, well, I was going to take you on, a helicopter ride and I was going to do this, some nice stuff. And he was like, but first of all, he was like, it's late and everything like that. So, I don't really, know you like that for real. And we just met. I was like, well, you is right about a lot of things. And thanks for trying to treat me like a lady and everything like that. Because, whatever, whatever. So, but it was real. They let us on in and everything like that. And come and find out he a baller, y'all. And I mean, true deputy baller. I don't know what team he played for because I don't forgot. He done told me, but it was nice. It was cool and everything like that. Blah blah blah. And I had me a nice little time at the little restaurant. I had to order me some nice little lobster and some what you call them things? It's not mushrooms. It's like some oysters. So it was real nice and real elegant. And everything had the little parsley flakes on there. And then the oysters was real seasoned and stuff like that. And he was real polite. And very well mannered and everything. And who came up in there, y'all, to join us? His mammy. His mother, y'all. When I tell you the mother came on up in there to join us and everything, I was like, well, who was this lady? He was like, oh, that's my mom and this and the third. I was like, well, hey. And then she's like, hey. And I was like, well, what you doing over here and everything like that? And she was like, oh, my son invited me last minute. And I was like, oh, you just up and just ran on over here and everything. And she was like, showing up because I wanted to be nosy. And I was like, oh, well, excuse me. So, for a little second or two, y'all, we was having a little, scat pat and everything like that. Getified and everything. And, we settled out differences and stuff like that. We sat on down and everything. He was like, Mom, this my little sneaky link, for the night and everything like that. But we ain't up in my room. We up in the restaurant. So she was like, oh, I dig, understand, blah, blah, blah. And everything like that. But it was real cool and everything. His mama was nice. I don't know if I'm gonna see her again because, on the terms, off the terms, we done met and everything. And I was like, well, your son told me he's trying to change his life and everything like that. And I don't know how true that is, but I hope so and everything because he looked real nice. But I don't know about nice for me because, he ain't short and he ain't tall either. And you know, his skin color was real nice. Don't get me wrong, he real cute, real attractive. And y'all, and the only reason why I went out there because I don't know what Sully is doing. Um, you know, I ain't heard from him in about like a good couple of days to a week, something like that. Y'all have been keeping up with anything, but hopefully Sully real cool and everything like that. And you know, you just never freaking know. But anyway, y'all, that's the end of the story and everything. I just be going on and on and on to trying to get real comfortable with the camera, with telling y'all stories and things like that. Like I said, I can't give out a lot of addresses, and I gotta leave a lot of stuff on out. It adds to the I don't want to say promiscuous, but like it adds to the, you know, spiciness, seasonings of the story and everything like that. Keep y'all coming on back and everything. Um, you know, blah blah blah. You ain't really gotta really worry about me like lying for real, for real. But you know, a little bit of stuff gotta be made on up because you know you don't want to get, you know, too truthful, because I think I said it before. You don't want people to be thinking, you know, you weird and everything like that, telling every little thing. So you got a little add little, you know, lie in there, truth, blah blah blah. But they try business try to figure out what's what. And your girl do need to have some friends, so you know I gotta like, you know, joopity joop. But other than that, y'all, that's that on that. Peace.